Those of you who have watched my other videos may have noticed I tend to focus on right-wing political ideologies and what I perceive to be those hypocritical or dangerous elements within it. Most of the people who piss me off share an underlying worldview which in my opinion makes them vulnerable to exploitation by politicians, corporations, and right-wing ideologues. This underlying worldview is, of course, Christianity. There are many different flavors of Christianity with highly differing theologies and dogmas. This video is by no means meant to insult or belittle the religion of Christianity itself, but rather to express what I see as the hypocritical, detrimental, and sometimes dangerous actions and attitudes of the people who follow a certain brand of Christianity. The faction of Christians I have a particular beef with are, of course, the conservative fundamentalist Christians, of whom it has been my experience are a bunch of stupid, soulless, short-sighted, bigoted, closed-minded, reactionary, willfully ignorant, primitive, and potentially violent hypocrites who only give a shit about themselves and whose insistence on injecting their religious beliefs into the modern-day political arena erodes our democracy and prevents us from addressing many of the social ills which plague this country. I would like to reiterate that for the people who are going to call me an anti-Christian hater, it is not what these people believe that I have a problem with. Nowhere in this video will I say anything defamatory or insulting about what Christians believe. It is the actions these people take which they justify using this belief that I feel holds back the human race and is dangerous to the entire world. I get a lot of emails and private messages as to why I focus more on politics and not so much on religion here in these videos. Most people probably don't know this about me, but I'm old hat when it comes to trolling Christians on the internet. Over the years I've been kicked out of many different boards and chat rooms and forums and stuff, run by ministries like Focus on the Family, the Eagle Forum, and others. I have more than a decade's worth of experience debating fundamentalists. The fact is there is very little I have not already heard when it comes to subjects such as the historical nature of Jesus, the Big Bang, teaching creationism in the classroom, the Christian viewpoints or lack thereof of our founding fathers, and other subjects. This is because there seems to be a small list of acceptable canned answers for any given subject, which said apologists repeat verbatim. Essentially, I stopped debating Christians because they don't really seem to care if what they're saying is true or not. They only seem to care about enacting their agenda. The point of apologetics is not to prove the historical accuracy of one's religion, it is to explain away inconsistencies and contradictions for the faithful, so that believers can reconcile their faith in dragons, angels, talking snakes, and supernatural damnation fruit with overwhelming evidence of evolution and the Big Bang. These people you debate on the internet and elsewhere really in their hearts do not give a shit of what they say is actually true. They say it anyway because they believe these viewpoints are divinely inspired. This is why no matter how many times we expose the idiotic, demonstrably untrue creationist claims, the moronic circular logic of using one's holy book to prove the truth of one's holy book, the out-of-context quote-mining of famous scientists and our founding fathers, the overwhelming similarity of Jesus Christ to other solar gods of the same period, the misrepresented and sometimes just plain wrong pseudoscience bent to fit in with impossible biblical claims about the flood or creationist earth formation, or the morally repugnant justifications of slavery, rape, homophobia, or wanton acts of cruelty and genocide these people are required to believe, they will just ignore anything you say and simply repeat the exact same apologetics over and over and over again, because the ridiculous will trump reason when the ridiculous is a matter of faith. It's this cognitive dissonance that causes people like Venom Fame X, Shock of God, or Nephilim Free to disregard overwhelming scientific evidence and search for alternative answers which fit their religious views. The truth is, people like them don't actually understand the things they're saying and haven't really thought any of it through and don't really give a shit what the actual truth is. They're simply repeating things they read online on Christian apologetic websites like Focus on the Family or Answers in Genesis, or hear from books and seminars from preachers like Kent Hovind, sometimes verbatim. Such people of faith maintain they already know what the truth is. That is, the biblical account is true. So anything you say must be some kind of evil satanic conspiracy designed to remove God from public life and force people to get abortions or whatever. This is why it's so easy to defeat them in a debate. All one has to do is simply mention a topic which they do not have any pre-made material for and watch them trip all over themselves. It wouldn't be so bad if the Christians would just do what the Bible says and render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's and remain in their own separate communities where they can't bother anybody. That's how it used to be back in the 70s before televangelism became a billion-dollar industry. But no, these people have been systematically institutionalizing their beliefs into every facet of American life over the past 50 years. They are no longer satisfied homeschooling their kids with their stupid bullshit and pumping out an endless stream of conservative morons from their network of idiotic, non-accredited diploma mills. They want to teach creationism in the public schools. They want their dumb shit revisionist history in the public textbooks. They want public money to go to their churches. They want the Constitution to apply only to Christians. They want only Christians to be allowed to vote or to run for office, and so on. For instance, you hear this bullshit about how we should be teaching competing theories about the beginning of life and the formation of the universe in the science class, but the only competing theory they want taught is their own. The rest of us are then caught in a never-ending battle of constantly having to debate and contend with people who purposely ignore that which can be scientifically proven because of their religious beliefs. Note to the Christians: no one is saying you're not allowed to believe whatever you believe. What we are saying is you're not allowed to impose those beliefs on others through public institutions. Don't say your people aren't trying to do this, because you are, and this shit needs to stop. It is wasting everybody's time having to constantly bicker the same stupid bullshit over and over and over again with you morons. There's a reason why you dumbasses always lose the public debate every single time, because you're wrong. Not only does this gum up our schools and waste our valuable resources teaching our children this stupid, unfounded bullshit, it also, in my opinion, has the potential to do long-lasting damage to our country and our world as a whole. These are the people who do not want us to research cleaner alternative energy, lower emission cars, or the application of fetal stem cells, not because of any objections to the science behind it, but because of their religious beliefs. When the fuck did it become anti-Christian to cure cancer? When did it become a hell-worthy event to recycle your soda cans or invest in solar panels? It's this same deliberate ignorance, this unwillingness to accept facts over established dogma, and sheep-like deference to a higher authority which allows these people to be exploited by conservative politicians who work against their own interests over and over and over again. It really seems hypocritical for the followers of a religion that emphasizes peace, charity, pacifism, and personal responsibility to vote for those who advocate war, cut social spending, and give their fat cat financiers a free ride on the public dole. I often hear from Christians how the government needs a firm moral grounding in order to be just. Fine. I agree with that. The problem is the morals provided by Christian conservatives is anything but just. These are people who think it's murder for a mother to terminate a pregnancy because she was raped, but not murder to drop a bomb on a Pakistani village and kill entire families. It's stealing when you hold up a liquor store and empty the cash register, but not stealing to manhandle a multi-billion-dollar bailout from the taxpayer when your bank bribes a credit agency and collapses the economy through phony credit default swaps. Where it's somehow wrong to give a poor person a welfare check, but a-okay to give a giant mega conglomerate a billion-dollar tax cut, and when that tax cut doesn't trickle down but goes directly into the CEO's pocket as a gigantic multi-million-dollar bonus, hey, that's just how capitalism works, and capitalism is ordained by God, correct? These are the people who espouse good Christian family values, yet are constantly being exposed in extramarital relationships, who deny gay people rights, then get busted soliciting gay sex themselves. Why the hell do the Christians keep supporting these vile slime bags who obviously do not give a fuck about anything except their own bank accounts? Is it because they say they're Christians? So all it takes for you dumb shits to ignore any and all transgressions is for a politician to profess their belief in the same invisible man bullshit that you do? Religion is supposed to be something that gives a person hope when there is no hope, strength during crisis, and a firm moral grounding. However, conservative Christians in this country do not draw their morals from their religion. They enforce their worldview on Christianity. These are the people who in the 60s stood against civil rights, who don't want women to work professionally at all, let alone give a shit about pay disparity, who don't give a fuck about the incredibly gigantic wealth gap in this country, who want to eliminate public schooling, get rid of any type of welfare or assistance programs, but at the same time don't give a shit about runaway out-of-control military spending, who don't think gay people should have the same rights as straight people, who don't give a fuck about environmental destruction and think that climate change is some kind of satanic conspiracy, who want to build a gigantic idiotic wall along the Mexican border, yet at the same time have no problem employing illegal aliens for the cheap labor. These people want us to torture. They want us to throw people in prison without trials. They want us to keep blowing up the Middle East because they've got it through their brainwashed, dumb shit, uneducated heads that somehow if we kill enough fucking people out there that Jesus will finally come back and send everyone who doesn't believe in him to hell. Fuck that, and fuck conservative Christians. We've humored these ignorant dumbasses long enough. We are no longer going to stand by and let you stupid fucking morons systematically bring about the end of the world to satisfy your dumb shit, outdated beliefs. It's time for you assholes to actually start living by the principle your religion espouses.